Hey guys, so I welcome you all in this third episode of the series called Brainstorm with Rish. And in today's episode, I am introducing you to someone who is expert and phenomenal in his field. So I'm introducing Joshua Menheere in this episode. We also call him Mojo with Love. So Joshua is an artist who makes mural, or you can say in Western hip-hop style, graffiti. Graffiti is writings or drawings made on a wall or other surface. Graffiti ranges from simple words to elaborate wall paintings, and it existed since ancient times, with example dating back to ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, Roman Empire, and ancient Vedic India. I also got an opportunity to paint and assist Muchu or Joshua in one of his graffiti few months back, and trust me, it's one of the most satisfying process I have ever done in trying something new in my life. So what kind of graffiti he's making? What's his style? What's his background? Why he's making all these graffitis? When he started doing this art form? What changes he wants to see in this world through his art? And how someone can learn, if somebody wants to learn to draw graffiti on the walls, how someone can learn this art form? And why art is important in today's world? So he's answering all these questions in today's podcast. So without wasting any time, we'll start with the conversation with Joshua or Muchu.
Brainstorm with Rish.
So good morning everyone, and I have Muchukunda Prabhu, or his name is Joshua Menheere, right?
Menheere, it's Dutch for Mr.
Okay. So I don't know how to pronounce it, but like giving your little bit of introduction, where you come from and how you started doing graffiti.
I started doing graffiti in 2007. A couple of years before that, my cousin introduced me to it. Her name is Ebony, and I remember sitting in our paper bark tree. There's a type of tree that's like paper, and she was teaching me how to do letters. She learnt from her boyfriend at the time. She was maybe 15, I was 13.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, I started to, get serious about it myself. Did my first piece in Nambour on a brick wall as a juvenile delinquent.
And
do you know what delinquent means?
No.
It means like naughty boy.
Okay. So you come from Australia, right, Prabhu?
I was born in Geelong, yeah.
Okay. And you were grown up in Australia, the same place, or?
Yes. Graffiti and graffiti art. Graffiti just means writing on the wall or something done on a wall.
Yeah.
And that's obviously ancient. You look at temples in India.
Yeah.
This is they're carved, but there's also inscribed. Like even Jesus in one part of Puri, he toured India. Not many people know, and he actually apparently there's some scribe on some wall, some pillar somewhere.
Yeah.
So this is graffiti. Graffiti art is just that. It's art on a wall.
Yeah.
But if you look at the origins of it, like ancient graffiti, ancient wall art, like in Kerala, like it's all murals of Krishna. So you could also say that it's graffiti has its roots in devotional murals.
Yeah.
which is obviously what we're up to in our graffiti crew called GBC.
Wow. So yeah, I wanted to ask you as well, like how you started making Bhakti Graffiti on the walls, and like what inspired you, like when you started it, and how you started making Bhakti. So you would have started making like normal graffiti first, like as you said you learned in Australia where you were growing up, and then how you transformed into making the Bhakti, and also describe what is Bhakti.
So yeah, I started doing graffiti in 2007 and painting the word Beras, B-E-R-A-S. It's meaningless. And when I got a little interested in spiritual philosophy, you know, when I was 15, because my uncle introduced our whole family to a Hare Krishna restaurant, and it was just our favorite place to eat. And one day, you know, my mum had made friends with the owner. His name was Gurunanava Prabhu. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement. And so he was also, you know, so he's a senior disciple of Prabhupada. He started the Krishna Balaram Mandir. He's a married man, a counselor. You know, he was in the law field.
Yeah.
Working in the courts, you know, with families, you know, with domestic violence and things like that.
Yeah.
And so my mum confided in him, like, Guna, what do we do? What can I do about Josh? Because her and my mum were fighting a bunch, like all the time. And so she actually asked for guidance from him, and he said, "Don't worry about Josh, just send him to me."
Yeah.
So how I actually got into Krishna consciousness was our meetings together that my mum had arranged.
Yeah.
I didn't know those meetings, you know, were a kind of counseling for me and supporting my mum, but for me they were just I was helping him with an art project. That's how he set it up, like, Josh, can you help me with an art project?
Yeah.
And so I was helping him with an art project, and that's how I got interested in what he was about. And everything he told me about Krishna consciousness just like clicked into place and dropped. I was like, yes, this is now my belief. What you just said, that is now mine. And when I went to high school, I'd be, you know, go back to school, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a Hare Krishna.
Oh, that was amazing.
And that affected my art. Immediately the content of my art changed. Like, my art is just an expression of me, whatever's going on in my life, or whatever, you know, basically, that's not just me, that's
your
art in general.
Yeah.
That's what people do. The only thing that can come out of your hand is what's in your head, right? So I was changing the content that I let into my head, right, and my heart, and that impacted what came out.
Yeah. And we can describe what is Bhakti as well. Like, a lot of people, they maybe don't know what's Bhakti. So
Bhakti means connection with God, Krishna, through service. Bha comes from the word like bhajan. So it's bhajan. It's the same as, you know, like the word religion comes from the word like religio, which means means to bind.
yeah.
And yoga is like our word yolk, like an egg, comes from the word yoga, the Sanskrit word yoga. And so bhakti yoga is to yoke with God, to connect and bind with the Supreme, actually link up, you know. So it's kind of like this, you know, you're God,
No.
you're not, but you're Krishna, and I'm me, and we're sitting on a branch, and this is the conditioned living entity. Wow, look at this cobweb, you know. This is incredible. I'm going to spend my life looking at this and playing with this. That's material life, and you're there just like, I'm the source of all pleasure. Turn around.
Yeah.
The happiness you look for over there in that cobweb is right here with me, in connection with me and service to me, because that's our nature as spirit souls. And I refuse to turn and look at God. That's called bahirmukhi. Turning away, back Bahir. My back is to God. Bhakti yoga is to turn back to our original, to our roots. And so Bhakti Graffiti, you asked, is graffiti that's in alignment with and that comes from my connection with my roots. So it's like, you know, you root down, and then according to, you know, depending on how deep your roots are, you'll produce better, juicier, you actually be able to produce real fruit that actually satisfies people and nourishes them.
Yeah.
So the fruits that, you know, I could produce without that connection, without roots, before I became a devotee, the fruits of the kind of art that I was making could not transform anyone or inspire anyone.
Yeah.
They couldn't nourish the viewer. So that's the difference between Bhakti Graffiti and meaningless, egoic graffiti that I used to do.
Yeah.
Krishna conscious hip hop. Hip hop is ancient. You know, Krishna invented hip hop. Like if you read the Bhagavad Gita in the proper meaning, it's like Dehi no sminita dehe koma ram yovanam jara tata dehantara praptir tiras tatjana namuyati. It's like the same bars, everything is the same.
Yeah.
The roots of hip hop is Krishna's Bhagavad Gita.
Wow. I've never thought like that. What changes you want to see in this world through your graffiti? Like even small changes?
Yeah, great question. If someone takes up chanting Hare Krishna or reads the Bhagavad Gita, that'd be sick. I mean, it's like I'm no different from any other devotee. Like I just want, like, there's that verse, you know, when all people are happy, the devotee is happy and peaceful. But there is no happiness without peace, and there is no peace with a disturbed mind. And what our society is a product of capitalism, which means it capitalizes on the disturbed minds.
Yeah.
Those who are shanti can't be disturbed by and tempted by advertising. But those who are like vulnerable, right? Mainstream society means vulnerable people. That's what it means.
Yeah.
And vulnerable people are preyed upon through social media and all kinds of marketing. We know that you got nothing else better to do. You're not a spiritual person. We've made sure of that through education. Now, here's your new religion. Buy this stuff. So, what a devotee wants to see is, hey, get a life. Don't be sucked in to this rabbit hole. But they'll say, no, you're in a rabbit hole. That is the effect of Maya, actually. It's not just, here's the thing, it's not that the companies and the person behind capitalism is the actual perpetrator or the actual evil. They're also victims.
Yeah.
They're victims of Maya. This is Krishna's illusory energy we're talking about here. She's very powerful. Durga, hard to overcome. So the devotee simply wants to give people an opportunity to break free from the shackles of Maya and turn towards Krishna. Like I was saying before, you know, Krishna consciousness means this. I'm a conditioned soul and you're God, and I'm like, whoa, fully enamored with this cobweb, thinking that this is actually gonna, like there's something there, that there is substance here. There's zero substance, there's zero happiness to be gained, extracted, experienced over here with matter. But the connection with source, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, without art, nothing is wow. There's no wow.
Yeah.
It's just meh. So there's a quote, without art, life is just meh.
True.
I mean, it's just lame, boring.
If you want to share something from your life, any experience or any incident where you were making the art form and you had any amazing story or whatever you want to share with the viewers, anything like your message.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Actually, every time now when I do a piece, it's like what's become the norm, like the experience. It's the same as Sankirtan, and this is the type of bhakti. This is the way how to do bhakti. This is the main aspect of bhakti yoga, connection with source through chanting the Hare Krishna mantra.
Yeah.
And when I do graffiti, it's like almost the same experience. You know, I connect.
Yeah.
And that's all a devotee wants. Like, that's how you know an experience is good. Was it an experience of connection with Krishna? Was it bhajan? Was it worship? Did it please Krishna? And you know when you've pleased Krishna. So graffiti for me, when I've done it, and when I've done it for Krishna and he's pleased, that's when I experience something super cool from doing graffiti. There's zero happiness to be had in matter. Only spiritual happiness is real happiness.
We say goodbye.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Maharaj, here? He's still here?
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Thanks for watching this episode. If you really like this episode, you can give us a like and you can subscribe to our channel. If you want to be a warrior, if you want to stop procrastinating and act on your ideas, if you think organic natural is better than the chemical, if you have a solution mindset, and if you are open enough to listen to great conversations without being judgmental, if you want to have an open mind and you feel love, compassion, and connecting with others is the answer to what I will say, brainstorming is the way. Cheers.